My name is Ianthe Pratt, and I was there before the birth of Crow, working with the Anglicans for their ordination of women, and the euphoria at the back of Anglican Church House. I don't remember except on VE Day, that was the end of World War II. It was just incredible. And very shortly after that, we Catholics met together and decided what should we do to carry on the work in our own church. And we brought in Anglicans with experience who advised us very strongly that it should be a single issue organisation, because there were various organisations like Catholic Women's Network, St John's Alliance, who were involved in all sorts of issues concerning women, but they weren't prepared to get rid of everything and just work on this issue. So that was how Crow, Catholic Women's Ordination, started up.
Ianthe, tell me, why is this issue so important to you?
Because I think the church is extremely imbalanced when the insight and values of women are not taken into account.
Tell me what you think the church is missing by not having women priests.
The understanding, empathy and experience of women. And that is an enormous resource.
What is your answer to someone who says that you can't embody Christ in a female body?
Well, that's quite extraordinary to think that what sort of genitalia you have is important. And I mean, at the moment of the creed, you have these words, men, all over the place. And really, the original Greek it meant human beings. So, you know, a lot of us have a difficult time saying keep on having changed some of the words to human instead of men and so on.
What Greek word is that?
Men, anthropos, and really means humanity, human beings. Theological understanding about women priests is very, very weak. The major theologians don't believe in that. It's a sort of house theology, if you know what I mean.
Tell me about some of your experiences campaigning. What have been the highlights that you can think of?
When the Pope came to London, it was decided by Crow to spend practically our last penny on hiring 40 central London buses with the great banner, Pope Benedict ordained women now. Now, I think that was far more important than a few people gathering on a piazza of a cathedral with banners and having arguments with people, because it got over to people that this was what was wanted and made people think. And I think that was a very good use of our resources.
Have there been any other ways in which you've tried to raise issues within the church?
Well, quite a long time ago, must be about 30 odd years ago, my husband and I started up Lumen Religious Books Trust. Originally our idea was to cross-fertilise radical ideas across the churches, but fairly soon we began to realise that this whole issue of women was so important. My husband was well behind me on this, so that we have been concentrating on the women's issue, and a library I have here is probably one of the biggest on the interface of women and religion and intergender studies.
Do you think women should be priests in the church as it is at the moment?
When we first started Crow, we put first aim was to women to be ordained, and then after that there should be a complete rethinking of what it was to be a priest. And very soon we realised that the priesthood as it was not really fit for men, let alone women. And so we changed the aims round. So the first aim was the changing concept and practice of priesthood, and then the ordination of women.
Tell me what your vision of a priest is.
Someone who is an empowerer and not gone on power.
Do you think the ordination of women will happen?
I think it won't come about for some time, but I'm a great believer you must sow seeds, but don't worry too much about reaping. And I'm quite sure, I mean, looking back over the history of things, how much has actually changed. And also, more and more people aren't taking that sort of party line. I do think it's very important that people don't give up but should go on.